Now that you understand a bit more about the coordinate system, then we can now talk about moving our lion. The way you make something happen over time is using a timer behavior. So I'm going to go back to my actors, and I'm going to edit the behavior of my lion, and I'm going to create a timer that once every second does something. So every 1 second, do something. And what behavior I want to have here, if you were just to move around here and go, ooh, move, or move to. Move, specify movement in a particular angle relative to the actor. That was if the lion was pointing in a certain direction, we'd have it move in that direction. But instead of moving in a certain direction, I want to have it move to a particular place. This says specify movement toward a specific x and y coordinate relative to the actor or to the scene. That's almost what we want, but what we actually need here is interpolate. Interpolate's an attribute from one value to another. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but that's what works here. So we're going to drag an interpolate over here, and we're interpolating the x value and the y value independently. So we're going to change the lion's positions x, and double click it to make it take, to some random value. And I can't type the word random in there, but there's this little e, which is short for expression. And so I can say insert a function and scroll down through this list and find random. And now it wants to know the minimum value, which we knew was something like 0, and the maximum value, and this is in the x, so the maximum value is like 550 something. Little check mark makes that take. And it's asking, what's the duration of this movement? How long do you want it to take? Well, I want it to take a short amount of time, so rather than being 1 second, I'm going to make it like 0.1 seconds. So it'll move in a tenth of a second to its new x position. X position, that sounds funny. Hit play, and we're going to watch the lion once every second move to a random x position on the coordinate system. So once every second, it's scooting over however far it needs to go to get to its new random position. Did you notice earlier that on the left it scooted kind of halfway off the screen? If I'm going to have them tap that, then it wouldn't be fair if the line could go almost all the way off the screen. So I might give it a boundary of like 30 pixels, so don't go within 30 pixels of that side of the screen. So use my back button and say, not between 0 and 30, but 0 and 550. What about between 30 and 550? Check mark makes that take. Preview, and we should see it go almost to the edge of the screen, and it went off the edge of the screen on the right. I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. So we've got it for x. Let's see if we can get it for y. Remember that the 0 value of y is down here, and the top up here on the iPhone is 320 pixels. So we're going to also do a similar thing like this for the y. If there's anything you want to make a copy of in GameSalad, you just hold down your Option key on the Mac, hold it down, and then drag it, and you get a copy of it right down below it. Well, it's almost where I wanted it. I want it to go inside that bracket. Good. So the Option drag makes a copy, and so it's, instead of changing the position x, we're going to go to the lion's position y, and we're changing that from a random value between 30 and, so if it was 320, then like 290 would be 30 from that end to 290. And I'm going to preview that, and now our lion should be jumping all around the screen at random once a second. Now all that's missing is nothing. You have successfully made your first revision of the lions, tigers, and bears. If you wanted to use any graphics that you've created, you can do that. The graphics that we're using here are all available in the Wikimedia Commons, and the background there was a photo from Flickr. And if you're making an app like this that you're going to distribute, you would definitely need to provide photo credits to all the sources. So don't just steal photos off Google and put them in your app. you need to have attribution for those Creative Commons licensed graphics, and for that you would probably need a credits screen. So while we're at it, we can go over here to Scenes, actually go to Home, Scenes, and you can put a plus sign and make another scene for credits screen. Now, we'll not work with that one right now. We're going to stay working our game screen in this app, but know that intellectual property is quite important, and you would never be able to put an app in the App Store, for instance, with somebody else's graphics in it. Up next, we're going to work on adding tigers and bears, and also making the actors speed up as the time goes on.